Starts.
Good morning. Today we talk about anatomy of the nose and paranasal sinuses. Nose, external nose. The external nose is pyramidal in shape. Its shape is maintained by skeletal framework. Anterior nares situated in the base of the nose and opens downwards. They are separated by columella. Bony constituents support the upper part of the external nose. They are nasal process of the frontal bone, nasal bones, ascending process of the maxilla. Cartilaginous constituents support the lower part of the external nose. They are upper nasal cartilages, lower nasal cartilages, quadrilateral cartilage of the nasal septum, between the nasal cartilage of two sides. Alar cartilages in the ala nasal. The cartilages are connected to each other and to the bone by continuous perichondrium and periosteum. Skin thin over upper part of the nose, thicker over lower cartilaginous part, where it contains large number of sebaceous glands. Vestibule is included in its external nose because it is lined with mucous membrane, lined with skin, and contains sebaceous gland and hairs, which are known as vibrissae. Skin contains sebaceous gland. It is limited above and behind by a curved ridge, the Lyman nasal. Nasal fossa, this is cavity, nasal cavity. The right and left nasal cavity separated from each other by nasal septum. Nasal cavities are lined by mucous membrane. Each fossa communicates with paranasal sinuses, nasopharynx through the posterior choana. Each posterior choana is bounded by above body of the sphenoid and ala of the vomer, below posterior margin of the horizontal part of palatine bone, laterally medial pterygoid plate of the sphenoid bone, medially posterior free margin of the vomer. Each nasal cavity is bounded by, floor is formed by palatine process of the maxilla anteriorly 3/4, horizontal part of the palatine bone posterior 1/4. Roof very narrow and formed by nasal process of frontal bone anteriorly. This space slopes downwards and forward from the highest part of the fossa. The cribriform plate of ethmoid through which fibers of the olfactory nerve passes. Number 3, body of sphenoid bone posteriorly. This slopes downwards and backwards. Medial wall, this is the nasal septum. The nasal septum lies in or near the midline. Crest and spurs are common. The three main constituents are perpendicular plate of ethmoid above and behind, vomer below and behind, quadrilateral cartilage. These articulate with bones, which contributes over the bones, which contributes in a minor way to formation of septum. They are anterior nasal spine of maxilla, nasal crest of the maxillary and palatine bones, rostrum and crust of the sphenoid bone, nasal spine of frontal bones, crest of the nasal bones. Lateral wall is formed mainly by medial wall of the maxilla, lateral mass of the ethmoid and lacrimal bones. Other contributes are derived from ascending process of maxilla anteriorly, perpendicular plate of palatine bone, and behind it medial pterygoid plate, the medial pterygoid process of sphenoid posteriorly. The main features of the lateral wall are three turbinates, superior, middle and inferior. The inferior turbinate is the largest. Three meatai, superior, middle and inferior. Each meatus lies below and lateral to the corresponding turbinate. Sphenoethmoidal recess lies above the superior turbinate and receives the ostium of sphenoid bone. Superior meatus contains the ostia of posterior ethmoidal cells. Middle meatus, it is the most complex and by far most important. The ostia of maxillary, anterior ethmoidal and frontal sinuses opens into it. The atrium is forward continuation of middle meatus. The agar nasal is a curved ridge lying above the atrium. It passes downwards and forward from the free anterior border of the middle turbinate and may contain agar cells. Bulla ethmoidalis is a smooth rounded mass found by anterior ethmoidal cells. The ostia of these cells open onto the bulla above. The hiatus semilunarius lies below and in front of the bulla and leads forwards into the infundibulum. It is bounded below by uncinate process of the ethmoid. Uncinate process of the ethmoid. Inferior meatus receives the nasal opening of the nasolacrimal duct. Paranasal sinuses. These are air spaces within a certain bones in the skull. There are 4 on each side. Number 1, maxillary sinus, also known as antrum of Higmore, ethmoidal sinus or labyrinth, frontal sinus, and number 4 is sphenoidal sinus. They are lined with mucous membrane continuous with that of the corresponding nasal cavity through their ostia. Maxillary sinus is the pyramidal in shape and occupies the body of the maxilla. It is largest of the sinuses with average capacity of about 15 ml in the adult. Medial wall is party wall between the sinus and nasal cavity. Apex may extend up to the zygomatic process of the maxilla. Roof is the thin floor of the orbit. If it is grooved by the infraorbital nerve. Floor of the is formed by the alveolar process and hard palate. In the child, it lies at or above the level of floor of the nasal cavity. In the adult, it lies about 1.25 centimeter below the floor of the fossa. Posterior wall is pierced by dental canal, which transmit the posterior superior dental vessel and nerves to the molar teeth. Anterior wall separates the sinus from the skin of the cheek. It contains the anterior superior dental vessel and nerves, supplying the incisor and canine teeth, and foramen for the mandibular nerve. Main ostium is situated high up between the medial wall and roof of the cavity. It opens into the hiatus semilunaris. Accessory ostia are sometimes present behind the main. Both main and accessory ostia are surrounded by a wide area of mucous membrane, unsupported by bone. Relations: orbit is separated from the antrum by a roof of the sinus, which contains the infraorbital nerve. Teeth may produce elevation in the floor of the sinus, and number related teeth depends on the size of the antrum. The second premolar and first molar are usually related. Middle meatus of the nose related to upper part of the antrum. Hence, the ethmoidal labyrinth can be approached through the antrum. Inferior meatus of the nose is separated from middle part of the medial wall by bone, which is usually thick in front and below, thinner above and behind. Internal maxillary artery is related to the posterior wall, where it occupies the pterygopalatine fossa. It may be approached through the antrum for ligation. Maxillary division of the cranial nerve also traverses the pterygopalatine fossa. Nasolacrimal duct passes downwards medially to the antrum to open into the inferior meatus. Its lumen may be encroached upon by grooves within the sinus. Ethmoidal sinuses consist of approximately 7 to 15 thin-walled cavities within the lateral mass of the ethmoid bone. Cells may invade any of the surrounding bones, including the frontal, sphenoidal and maxillary bones. There are two groups of cells, anterior and posterior. Anterior group usually small and numerous. They opens into the upper part of the hiatus semilunaris or on it or above. The bulla ethmoidalis secretions thus drain into the middle meatus. Posterior ethmoidal cells, usually large and few, they opens into the superior meatus. Anterior cranial fossa lies above and very thin roof of the upper ethmoidal cells. Orbit is separated by orbital plate of ethmoid bone. This is also thin, lamina papyracea, and may be absent in in some parts. Lacrimal sac is related laterally to the anterior cells. Optic nerve may be very close to the posterior group of cells. Anterior and posterior ethmoidal vessels and nerves run from orbit to the nasal fossa between the roof of the ethmoidal labyrinth and the undersurface of the frontal bone. Frontal sinus should be regarded as upward extension of anterior ethmoidal cells. Its average capacity about 7 ml in adult. The right and left sinuses are often asymmetrical. They are separated by a thin bony septum. The sinus may invade the orbital plate of the frontal bone. The frontonasal duct passes through the anterior part of the ethmoidal labyrinth. Its ostium usually opens into the infundibulum. Anterocranial fossa separates from the sinus by compact bone of its posterior wall. Orbit lies below the floor of the sinus. This is also compact bone. Skin and periosteum of the forehead covers the anterior wall, which is of diploic bone, and it is related to supraorbital and supratrochlear nerve. The sphenoidal sinus lies behind the upper part of the nasal fossa. It occupies the body of the sphenoidal bone. The average capacity is about 7 ml in the adult. The right and left sinuses are rarely symmetrical. They are separated by a septum. The ostium is situated in the upper part of the anterior wall of the sinus. It communicates with the superior meatus indirectly through sphenoethmoidal recess. Relations: cavernous sinus containing 3rd, 4th, 5th ophthalmic and maxillary division, and the 6th cranial nerve lies laterally with the internal carotid artery and optic nerve. Pituitary gland, optic chiasma, olfactory tract, and frontal lobe of brain lie above the sinus. Vedian nerve, nerve to pterygoid canal, runs forward below the floor. The pterygopalatine fossa is a small pyramidal space between the posterior wall of the maxillary antrum anteriorly and pterygoid extension of the greater ring of the sphenoid posteriorly. Mucous membrane of the nose and paranasal sinuses. Mucous membrane of the nose is of two types: the respiratory, second is olfactory. Respiratory, this lines the lower 2/3 of the nasal septum, lateral wall of the nose below the superior turbinate, and floor of the nasal fossa. It is pink in color and covered by columnar ciliated epithelium. Fibroelastic basement membrane separates the epithelium from the subepithelial connective tissue, which is loose and highly vascular and contains many mucous and serous glands. The deeper portion is firmly attached to the underlying periosteum or perichondrium. The respiratory membrane extends from Lyman nasal throughout the nose and to the upper half of the nasopharynx. It also extends in the sinuses through their ostia and it's thinner there. It is also continuous with the epithelia of the nasolacrimal duct and eustachian tube. Above, it is continuous with olfactory mucosa of the nose. Olfactory mucosa. This lines the upper 1/3 of the septum, the roof of the nose, and the lateral wall above and including the superior turbinate. The olfactory epithelium is non-ciliate columnar cells and is yellowish in color. It contains the serous glands, serous glands of Bowman's. The cells are olfactory, bipolar. The superficial process ends in the surface of the mucous membrane in a bulbous process which bears the olfactory hairs. The central process passes to the olfactory bulb through the cribriform plate. Supporting cells. Basal cells contains yellow pigment. Blood supply of nose and paranasal sinuses. Arterial supply. Branches of the external and internal carotid arteries. Branches of external carotid are Spinopalatine, Greater Palatine, and superior labial artery. Infraorbital, superior dental artery, branches of maxillary. The Spinopalatine artery via the internal maxillary artery supplies the turbinates and meatus and most of the septum. Greater Palatine artery, which is the branch of maxillary artery, supplies part of lateral wall and anterior part of the septum. Superior labial artery, a branch of facial artery, it sends branches to the tip of the nose and ala major. Its anastomosis with branches of Spinopalatine, Greater Palatine, which is also known as artery of epistaxis, and anterior ethmoidal artery forms the Kesselbach's plexus in little area. Infraorbital superior dental artery, branches of maxillary artery, supplies the maxillary artery. Pharyngeal branch of maxillary artery supplies the sphenoidal sinus. Branches of internal carotid artery, they are anterior posterior ethmoidal arteries, which are branches of ophthalmic artery. They supply roof of the nose, anterior part of the septum and lateral wall of the nose, and ethmoidal and frontal sinus. Venous drainage, the veins from the cavernous plexus beneath the mucous membrane. Nerve supply of the nose. Nerves of common sensation are derived from branches of fifth cranial nerve. Anterior ethmoidal nerve, a branch of ophthalmic division, enters the nasal cavity through anterior ethmoidal foramen, and it divides into medial branch and lateral branch. Medial branch supplies the anterior part of the septum. Lateral branch supplies the anterior part of the nose, middle turbinate and inferior turbinate. Branches of Spinopalatine ganglion. Greater Palatine supplies the inferior and middle turbinate. And inferior meatus. Short Spinopalatine, posterior part of the superior meatus and turbinate and middle meatus. Long Spinopalatine supplies the remainder of the septum. Olfactory nerve, sense of smell, supplied by first cranial nerve fibers arise from the bipolar cells in the olfactory mucosa. They are non-medulated and passes through the foramen in the cribriform plate. They enter the undersurface of the olfactory bulb. Lymphatic drainage vessels arise from continuous network of the superficial part of the mucous membrane. They can be injected from subarachnoid space through communications along the olfactory nerves, which thus offer the pathway for infection. Submandibular lymph node collects lymph from anterior part of the nasal cavity and external nodes. Upper deep cervical nodes drains rest of the nasal cavity either directly or through retropharyngeal lymph nodes. Thank you.